Thomas is here. Okay, Dave, you got the first minute and a half here. Clock's going to start. Your take on the new rules. Go.
Well, first of all, Daryl made my day by going ahead and switching the field to meters. So thanks, Daryl. I think that was an awesome comment. But today, this opens up a lot of different possibilities, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I am a traditionalist when it comes to sports. I hated the MLB putting in the pitch clock and MLB extending the size of the bases, so on and so forth. But I think in the long run, this is going to improve the product on the field. I love the way that they're going to work the clock now with the 35 seconds and what Commissioner was saying, right? A minute took 11 minutes of real time to play. There's actually going to be some urgency in what happens on the football field now with that clock running all the way through. So I think that's going to dramatically improve the flow.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. Because I watched that. I didn't realize it was 11 minutes. It's that what a football game takes to play out, right?
So
last minute
fellas,
in the CFL.
Fellas, and here come the text messages from people that are so angry, and they think that we now have private health care and we care American money. It's like watching people melt down here. What is the bad? Can we start with that? Dave, which one and why is it bad?
The one that I started off thinking was bad, and really it was the only one that I wasn't convinced on immediately, was the removal of the 55-yard line, right? So going from 110 to 100 yards. I thought to myself, really, that's kind of a Canadian thing. Why wouldn't you do that? But now looking into the analytics and the data involved, I can understand why they've done it. If you look in the NFL, fourth downs, right? So again, we're not going to 4 downs, but the fourth down gamble has been on the rise, which increases drama and increases strategy from the coaches as to whether or not you're going to go for it. So by removing those 10 yards, you're going to have more opportunities for coaches to have to think, okay, do we risk punting this ball into the end zone where we get nothing? Do we want to try an extremely long field goal attempt, or are we better off going for it on 4th and 4 from the opponent's 40-yard line? And I think that that's what really brought me over and converted me to this thing.
Again, kind of COVID-ish, so data-driven. When he broke down in that interview, the quarterback, where they're throwing it to the left side or the right side, they're staying away from the middle of the field to almost where it's half, and then the middle gets the scraps. Dave, you played it. Maz, why would the goalpost ever be there? Like, if you dropped someone from another planet in and just showed them football, they'd go, why would you put your goalpost there? I mean, people are running into it. You can use it as a pick. You're going to hit it if you throw it. It's dangerous at the kid level.
Well, and I'm trying to remember which high school it was that we went to play, but we specifically game planned because they didn't have like the one goalpost where the uprights came out from. They had the two, you know what I mean? Like the converted soccer net with and so we game planned around that because we had not one but 2 different picks that we could run when we went and played at that field.
Yeah. See, people are thinking that it's just turning into an NFL wannabe league. I personally do not get that sense because a lot of this is backed by data on where they think the excitement of the football game can benefit. Let's keep in mind, remember when hockey took out the 2-line pass? Oh, we lost our minds. Or room behind the net. We're going to more room behind the net. Oh my, what's going on? It's like, let's settle down. This is going to all blow over. In 5 years, we're going to all sit down with a stubby and a dart and be like, remember when we all freaked out about this? It was nothing.
Don't forget that the game is going to remain the same, right? The waggle is going to continue. The 1 yard off the ball is going to continue. The 3 downs to get is going to continue. Like, that's all going to still remain in effect. The one thing that I think that is so captain obvious that no one has gone ahead and talked about yet is the fact that by reducing the field from 110 yards to 100 yards, guess what? EA Sports, or you name the gaming company that creates games, all of a sudden, hey, you know what? We got the prototype for this game now. We've got the dimensions for this. Now, yes, the game is still going to be wider. It's the 65-yard width is going to remain intact, and the end zones aren't going to be 15 or 10 yards are going to be 15. But still, this makes converting a Canadian football game onto your favorite console a whole lot easier, I would suggest.
one of the questions that I asked the commish, because it's true. I mean, the riders got jobbed on this. It's happened to everybody over the years. You're changing the Rouge. I don't care about mid-season. Change it now. Don't risk your Grey Cup being decided on a bad play that's going to decide the championship. So if it's done. Rip the Band-Aid off and get it going. Next year will be kind of like a year in waiting. And I understand the infrastructure part where it may take a while for everybody to figure out how they're going to make some of those structural changes to the field. But as they bring it in, when the announcement came out, I was going through expansion was the first thing. And I'm like, okay, that's good. What I was also hoping for in all of this, because especially when Kate Burness came out and said, hey, we're going to, at the start of the press conference, if you didn't see it from TSN, we're going to start doing things differently. We're going to expose it in a different way. I thought along with whatever changes, they were going to be announcing that they may be shooting the game differently. And then when he would come on, that potentially the salary cap would be going up as well, which then benefits players, or you can add players or rosters or expanding or something like that. But I'm okay with these changes. I don't think it loses the Canadian aspect of the game. It'll still be ours. I'm just glad that the Rouge thing is out, because when we do make national news, it's usually for something embarrassing. And the Rouge, more often than not lately, is, hey, look what happened up in Canada. That's the only time ESPN cares, outside of Chris Berman doing the Grey Cup highlights and showing the winner the day after.
You know what I'm really intrigued by is how the implementation of this is going to go ahead with the field size as well, because I understand there's a lot of consternation right now between amateur football organizations and the CFL saying, hey, we weren't consulted on this. What are you doing? Well, the two games are already different. The hash marks is the obvious and clear choice, as well as the game timing. But also, you've got stadiums right now in Montreal, in Calgary, in Saskatchewan, and in Winnipeg, who all share fields with amateur football teams, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see how they make it work. I'm confident they will, but it's going to be very interesting.
We're going to have Mike Thomas on here in moments to talk about it. And I don't even know if they've unpacked everything yet. There's another COVID buzzword, Maz. But it's going to be a lot of work for some stadiums and leagues. And if you know anything about field turf, and like he talked about where things are stitched in, it is not easy at all. But again, we all went through COVID. Is anything ever going to be that difficult ever again? Let's just make it happen. Again, in 5 years, we're going to be like, yeah, it was okay. It was like when the NBA went to the 3-point line in 79-80. I'm sure there's people that their heads exploded. 3 points.
The best part of this,
change,
which made the CFL look very amateur and like Pop Warner football, was having the teams on the same side. That to me was total Bush League. That needed to change. If they changed nothing else, just to be like, we got to separate you. There was almost a brawl a couple of weeks ago. Like, look at last year in Ottawa with the Riders, and then the fans are fighting, and that to me was, I'm like, you guys can't get your what together. This is ridiculous. If
the Swift Current Civic Center or whatever it is can figure it out with benches on opposite sides, you mean CFL leagues can't? Okay, Dave, we could go more here. Maybe we'll get you back tomorrow, but I know Mike Thomas is waiting, and we want to get to the grassroots part of it. But stay handy. We might be buzzing you. And then I know you got to sit down with Craig Reynolds coming up in the coaches show, so that'll be good. Thanks for hopping on, Dave.
Hey, my pleasure. And Craig Reynolds is going to talk about reconfiguring Mosaic Stadium, so we'll get to that in a bit.